Guys, it's Adrienne, Vintage in Bloom. I am at home. Morgan's at the shop. I had my rotator cuff repaired over the winter break and am homebound for another week. So I am finding things to paint with my left arm. I apologize for the lag. My computer is how I'm doing the live today. So my mouth and the sound may not always match up, and that's a little weird. So hopefully that figures itself out. Hi guys, I'm so excited. Okay, so we had an amazing break. Really got inspired. I have been really limited in what I can do, and it has caused my brain to go into overload. So how I've been managing that is I've been coming up with different projects, and I have realized more than ever how happy paint makes me in my life. And I think that it's a feeling that a lot of people can really appreciate and share. And so I am putting a challenge out there for 2020. I want to invite everybody to do it with me, especially my fellow stockists. And Allison, I'm looking at you, Reinvented. I think you could definitely hit this one out of the park. So what is my challenge? I am going to be painting an item from my house in every single color of Annie Sloan. I am going to start alphabetically, and every week, give or take, it may be more on some weeks and less on others. I'm going to have something in my home. Everything will be Annie Sloan. And so we'll have one of each color. So I'm going to start with Amsterdam Green today. And it's going to be a lot of fun. If anybody, hi, Morgan's at the shop, guys, and she's watching. And she'll yell at me if I use this arm. So I have to not use it at all. Everybody keep an eye. I'll get in trouble. So basically what the challenge is, I'm going to paint things big, small. I'm going to do my staircase. I'm going to do bookcases. I'm going to do candlesticks. It's all going to be things that I have in my house. And oh my gosh, you turned the music down. Yeah, thank you. And yeah, there you go. So it's going to be a lot of fun. And I would challenge you guys to do the same. Want to share that with everyone. I can't wait to have Barcelona Orange and Emile and Henrietta show up in my house somehow. So it's going to be amazing. I'm going to transform my house, and I am going to create so much happiness for myself. So starting out with Amsterdam Green, for those of you who know me, I am a piggy fanatic. They're my absolute favorite animals on earth. And I mean dogs and pigs, they're one and the same. I also am a lover of cutting boards. I am a little bit obsessed. I see them, I buy them, I have to have them. What you may not know about me though is I also have pretty significant OCD, and that kept me from being able to use this cutting board because the conditions that I found this little guy, I just couldn't get past to use for food use. So instead, I am going to paint this awesome little piggy in Amsterdam Green. I'm going to dry brush, and I'm going to do a really kind of aggressive swirl technique that uses very little paint. And I'm going to dry brush him Amsterdam Green, and then we're going to dark wax him. And I'm going to use him for layering on a shelf in my dining room, and I'll post pictures of that. But basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to create color to separate some of my glassware that sits in front of a neutral color, and it just doesn't pop. So I'm going to bring color in by painting up this cutting board that I just can't use because it just makes my skin crawl. But it's going to be painted and pretty, and I'll put it on a shelf. So everybody wins. So my TV just turned on. I've got to go turn that off because that'll be weird. All right, that's fun. I'm back. All right, so getting started, you'll notice that I'm working off my mix mat. Greatest purchase in the world. I can't live without it. I know Amy from Boxwood and Grace feels the same. They are amazing. So come check us out at the shop. I have put Amsterdam Green. I have prepped my space. I have just a blob right here. My brush is wet. I know that's going to freak some of you guys out. I'm doing a dry brushing technique, but I have wet my brush. I feel like when your brush is a little bit wet, it carries Annie's paint better. It comes off the bristles a little easier than when you start with a dry brush. So even when I'm doing a dry brushing technique, I did get my brush a little bit wet to begin with because it just gives me more control over my paint. So I'm going to start out, I'm going to use my hand to hold the cutting board, so nobody panic. All right, so I'm going to start with very little paint. I wiped a bunch of it off first, and I'm just going to start swirling, and already I can see all of the highs and the lows. And so I'm just going to swirl over the whole thing. I don't want this entire thing to be saturated because I really want some of the dark wax to come through on this wood because it is a really old cutting board and it was hand cut. A candidate to put dark wax on because if you know anything about dark wax, it loves to find lows and to nook in there, and it just creates so much character. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of act as if this piggy has kind of that mottled skin, that black and white, and I'm not going to paint the whole surface. I'm just going to dry brush, and I want to make sure that I hit all the edges because I really do want that line to stand out. I'm kind of doing the reverse of distressing. When you distress things, you take off those highs and the lines, but right now I'm highlighting all of them and just trying to hit it with the bristle tips and a dry brushing technique. So there's not very much paint on there and you're just highlighting with the paint. I'm going to go back in a few areas and just darken up. I do really love the way that Amsterdam Green looks. So I do want some areas on there that are opaque. But like I said, I want to leave some of that natural wood. So I'm going to go ahead and just brush along some of my edges. As you can see, with my limited abilities with one arm, this is clearly something that you guys can do. Me with my left arm, this is all going to be stuff that you guys can do. So, all right, so here's what I have. And I think I'm pretty happy with that. I definitely see Amsterdam. I would think of Amsterdam looking at this. I think maybe I'll add a little bit more paint in this area. I'm not going to paint the back. I'll just dark wax the front of it because that way if I decide to do something crazy on the other side, you never know, maybe I'll paint it realistically or you never know really what I'm going to do. So, but I do know I want more Amsterdam. Hi guys, my my computer had a breakdown, which is very typical. So here I am again, finishing up. It actually worked out well because it gave the piggy some time to dry, which it needed to do before I could dark wax. So I'm just gonna wipe back any of my excess so that it'll finish up drying. But I think it's pretty good to go. Yeah, so here's how my piggy ended up looking. I dry brushed a lot of different areas with different levels of Amsterdam Green. And this is an old cutting board. And so all I'm going to do to dark wax, would have been smart to have a tin opener. Oh, that's fun. Let me see. What do I have? Here we go. Just use a butter knife, you know, because that's how we roll. All right, one arm tin opening. All right, so the wax I'm using is Annie Sloan's dark wax. It's going to antique enrichen this Amsterdam color, and it's also going to seal the paint and any previous life that this cutting board has lived. Normally I would use a wax brush, but I'm not going to because the piece is so small, it's honestly not worth washing the brush. So I'm just going to use regular paper towel, which you can do at home. So, or you can use an old t-shirt or sock. It's really up to you. So I'm going to take a good amount of my antiquing wax, and I'm just going to start out right in the center. I have an area that's wood, and I'm just going to, I'm not going to clear wax this because I really want this to darken and enrichen. Oh, this is so cool. It's settling into all the knife marks. This is so neat. It's like a map of everywhere that this surface was used to cut. So I'm just going to keep spreading my wax around, and actually you can just turn your paper towel over and kind of backlight as well. Wow, that looks really cool. Let me show you what it looks like so far. I'm going to take really good pictures so that you guys can see, but the dark wax, see if I can get it to catch in the light. The dark wax settled into all the knife cuts. So I'm going to finish waxing, and this is really cool. Again, this is going to become just a layering piece on a shelf. I'll take pictures of how I use it. Morgan and I have started blogging, which is really fun, about how to do these things that we do in our house. And at the shop, we get a lot of questions, and so we're going to start kind of reaching out with more do-it-yourself ideas and instructionals. I am currently trying to figure out how to publish the blog on our website. So we have a really cute Valentine do-it-yourself waiting to be shared with everybody. I just don't know how to do it yet, and it is, you know, taking a little bit of time. So if you're computer savvy, let me know. This is really cool. Again, if I can do this with one arm, you guys can certainly do this. It really is amazing. This Annie Sloan challenge is going to be a ton of fun. I would encourage you guys to do it too. If you're not comfortable with the whole color palette, maybe try a color family and mixing and matching. It's a lot of fun. It's amazing how much color can really change your mood. And when you surround yourself with beautiful things, you just feel better, in my opinion. So I have the base of this all dark wax, and it looks incredible. The Amsterdam Green is super rich and coming through. The wood is really, really good. I am so glad that I decided to do this on this piece instead of continuing to try and clean it. I just kept cleaning it. And no matter what I did to it, I just couldn't get there. So it is going to become home decor. I'm just going to do around the edges because there's a lot of the raw wood there. And this is really neat. Again, I'm going to post really nice pictures so that you guys can see really the process. So thank you for everybody who stopped by. Sorry about the first video. If you catch this one, no, it'll be better next time. But I'll catch you guys next time I make an announcement to, let's see, what's the next color? It's Amsterdam Green, Athenian Black, no, Athenian Black, Arles, Amsterdam. Yeah. Maybe Antoinette. I don't know. Yeah, it's Antoinette, I think, should be the next color. So, yeah, God, I have to figure out what I'm going to paint in my house that's Antoinette. That's the fun part. Okay, guys, I'm going to get out of here. I hope you guys have a wonderful day, and I will see you guys soon. Bye.